prime time for fall photos, at least along the Wasatch Front, may seem to have passed you by with those bright colors slowly fading away. But there are still plenty of really pretty locations to use as backdrops to your family photo, especially if you're hoping to get them done in time to make Christmas cards. Photographer Kayla Trujillo is here to share some great fall photo locations that still look good. And that's the key, right? It's getting brown.
Yes.
Mother Nature is kind of taking that last gasp and looks a little dead out there,
Yes.
but you say we can still get a pretty photo.
I still think it's beautiful, actually. I love this time of year for shoots. And
why?
So there's so many options. You don't have to go fall leaves to still have it feel fall-y, or to keep it for year-round even. And so some of the options I brought today are things that you could hang up in your house year-round and it won't feel like you're pinned to fall.
You know what? That's a great point.
Yeah.
I mean, fall leaves, it kind of dictates the color scheme. It definitely dictates the season.
Yeah, it feels weird to hang a picture of leaves in your house and look at it in April. Like, it just feels off to me. So,
I can get on board with that.
So I like some of these neutral options.
What we do like about traditional fall photos, though, is the texture. Can you still get good, which we know makes a great backdrop in this later fall season?
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, I'm really excited to share some of these options.
Okay, should we jump in? First on your list, Big Cottonwood Canyon.
Yes, okay, so Big Cottonwood Canyon is my favorite, but all of the canyons are pretty right now because there's so much snow. We got really lucky this year. So I love Big Cottonwood, though, because it's really accessible. They plow the campgrounds and the picnic areas, and so you can park, have everyone hop out for 30 seconds, take a picture, and then get warm again.
So don't worry about the cold. You're not going to be there that long.
You can be quick. So yeah, so this is at Big Cottonwood Canyon. This is at Spruce's Campground, which is one of my favorite spots.
So are you hitting picnic areas, or are you just pulling off the side of
No, I would stay in like a picnic area or a campground because it's a little bit safer. There's lots of like snow pile, but it's just a really pretty area. So yeah, so you can park and then just walk literally 2 feet from your car and shoot, and it's perfect.
Well, talk about neutral. I mean, white is a beautiful canvas. Any color scheme works.
Yes, and I love this family right here in particular. Like, they went with blues and greens, and it just feels really like cozy and wintry, and it's just really fun for me.
We were just talking yesterday. I know art forms overlap, but we were just talking yesterday about painting, you know, a room in your house, updating the wall color. And we were talking about how blue and green are the most universally calming, accepting, pleasing colors. To see those colors together, that was a beautiful shoot.
Yeah, it's really pretty. Yeah, they did such a good job.
All right, next on your list, Utah Lake.
Yeah, okay, so Utah Lake is one of those neutral locations that looks beautiful in April and it looks beautiful in November. So I love shooting around the Provo Marina, but there's tons of different access points in like Utah County.
What do you like about the Provo Marina?
I love that you can park there really easily. There is a parking fee. I want to say it's like $10 or $15 a day, like just to use it. But you can just access the shore and like shoot like on the sandy part, or there's a really cool rocky area of the Provo Marina, and it just gives a really unique look. But again, it's neutral, so you can hang these pictures in your house and they don't feel like out of season. So there's the rocky area.
The rocks are lovely. Will you have that brushery, kind of that shrubbery year-round?
Yep.
Okay, once we're there, any good tips for getting shots like this? These are gorgeous.
Yeah, so you definitely want to shoot about an hour before sunset. Like, you don't want the sun to be too high because you'll get really extreme shadows. But yeah, just have everyone kind of side to the sun and you'll get really pretty light. It'll be really pretty.
I just taught my kids. We have a tradition in our house of when we see a sunset, yelling out, you know, "Thank you, Heavenly Father, for that beautiful sunset." And I just taught about golden hour.
Yes.
And the other day, my 3-year-old yelled out, "Thank you for golden hour."
Oh my gosh.
It was the sweetest thing.
That's my favorite. That's
zero in on that for your family photos, which is a little earlier right now than we're used to.
Yes, yeah, you have to watch the sunsets because it's like changing like 15 minutes every week.
All right, that's the conversation I dread having with my photographer is sunset, because it always is changing. You know what I mean? But you got to nail it for photos like that anyway. Next up, a popular one in North Salt Lake.
Yes, okay, Tunnel Springs is the best. It is awesome, but it is a zoo, so just prepare for lots of crowds. But it's just an open park trail system area that I think it's managed by like North Salt Lake City, and it is beautiful. It's just rolling hills. In the fall, it's like yellow grasses. In the spring, it's green. But so for right now, like November, the grass is yellow and it is beautiful. And again, it's more neutral. It definitely like looks more fall, but you could hang these in your house year round.
We've done a couple of family shoots there, both in the spring and in the fall.
Okay, so you know.
We love it. I do recognize the zoo that you're describing. Can I ask you about etiquette? With those crowds in mind, it can get a little awkward to try to stake your claim and not. We've had people creep in and it just feels uncomfortable.
Okay, so that's a good question. So I honestly feel like if everyone just goes in with a good attitude that we're all sharing this space, it's a community space, and just tries to like stay on the trails as much as you can and just kind of find your own space. I feel like in general people are really kind, but yeah, it can get a little awkward. So just hopefully your photographer is kind and professional and like don't stress. Let them worry about editing the people out of the background and stuff like that. Because, I mean, there's tons of people in the background of those pictures, but you don't see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so with that open view, you can...
Yes, the editor can, or the photographer can edit those out, and you don't have to stress about that as the client. You're
Not
good.
your job.
Nope,
So
not
I'll
your
stop
job.
feeling awkward.
Yes,
I'll
don't
stop
feel awkward.
sweating.
Let
Just,
them manage
it's not my
that.
problem.
Yes.
All right, next up, I love that you're kind of generalizing this area because it
Yes.
could be your backyard, it could be an empty field in your neighborhood. You're pointing us to anywhere with cattails.
Yes, so I think cattails are awesome for fall, but again, it's kind of more of a neutral, but cattails are really easy to find. I love going around the Jordan River Parkway or around any pond. Tunnel Springs has some, and I just think that they're a really cool fall element without feeling overly fall. And they just provide a really pretty textured background like we talked about earlier.
Great texture, not a lot of color. So
Yep.
speak to that wardrobe selection again. If I have a super neutral, late fall, early winter backdrop
Yes.
that's not pretty white snow, what would you recommend for color palette?
See, I think you could do patterns, which would be really cool. Like you could do a floral and a plaid together. Like because it's so neutral, you can be a little bit more daring with your outfits. I would also do like some rust colors, maybe like add in like a green or a blue with that, which I know sounds kind of weird, but on camera it looks really, really beautiful.
I'm glad you're mentioning that. Some color combinations might not.
Seem strange.
Yeah, in
Yes.
person you might not wear that, to your girlfriend
Yes.
lunch, but on camera or photograph
Yes.
look really lovely. So rust with.
I would do like rust with like a blue, like so the blue like in that picture. I know,
yeah.
really strange, but really beautiful. And then like a couple of patterns with that and mix it. It'd be really pretty.
Finally, let's talk about a winning location. No matter the season, no matter the weather, no matter the backdrop, you say don't overlook studio
No,
shoots.
yes, and we are so lucky in Utah because it's kind of photography mecca. Like
Yeah.
there's lots of photographers here. There's also really great resources, and so studios are a great option. You can just Google like studios in Utah, and they're typically like an hour rental, and you can just use the space to like shoot family pictures.
What's a fee to expect?
Probably about $100 to $150 an hour. So
Okay.
it does add a lot, but a lot of photographers like myself, I have a lease, and so I just cover that cost. And I'm able to use the studio whenever I want. But especially for Christmas, it's really fun. You can throw in a Christmas tree or keep it really neutral and simple. And it just is a warm space that's gonna have consistent light and just be really great for pictures.
I was wondering the other day, we've really flexed the rustic kind of rugged outdoor shoots. I started to wonder, will we see kind of a pendulum swing back to more formal family
I think
photos?
there is kind of a switch to that. We're not talking like, going to the mall and doing family pictures anymore.
Come on.
I remember
Where's
the days.
glamour shot?
Yes.
I've got a leather popped collar with ringlets.
There's so many good ones.
You know you do too.
Yes, I know. It's so bad.
Okay.
So we're not that far,
Right.
but I think using a studio and having a pretty backdrop, I think that's kind of in style again.
Well, and on the other side, we're not talking about like turtleneck sweaters that
No.
all match in this formal
No,
stuffy
definitely not.
pose, stiff. But I think with the lighter, more natural look of photos that we've come to embrace, that lends itself to a really lovely studio atmosphere.
and you can dress up and feel like you're not out of place, and
Yes.
like it looks really beautiful. You can wear heels and like a really sparkly, pretty dress.
My husband always challenges me, why am I wearing a collar in a field? You know what I mean?
Why am I wearing heels in the mountains?
Thank you.
Yes.
So the studio lends itself to that natural
Yes.
wardrobe when we do want to get a little more fancy.
For sure.
All right, Kayla, great eye for these awesome locations. Not too late to get a great outdoor fall shoot or to flex the studio temperature as well, the
Yes.
climate-controlled area of a studio. Where can we find more advice from you, and are you still booking?
So I'm on maternity leave in a couple weeks.
Congratulations.
But, thank you. But I have a team of photographers that works for me. They're still booking a little bit. You can find me on my website, trulyphotographyut.com.
Okay, we'll link that on our website as well for an easy connection point. Thank you
Thank
again
you
for the
so
great
much.
suggestions, and good luck
Okay,
with
thank
that
you.
Christmas babe.